Hey everybody, Ali here with another really cool edition of my board games, and I'm really excited for today's edition because we're going to talk about my absolute favorite board game ever, the classic murder mystery game, Clue. So, Clue, quick history on Clue, was invented in 1944 by a man named Anthony Pratt and his wife Elva. The game got invented in 1984. It was originally called Murder. They made a few modifications. 3 years later, in 1947, they patented the game under the name Cluedo. Clue for murder mystery, right? And Ludo, Latin for I play. Because himself and his wife were big murder mystery fans back in that day. And in Birmingham, England, it was called Cluedo. And here we call it Clue. You know, of course, the characters will be different over there. Like over there is Mr. Black was the victim. Over here is Mr. Body. Completely different, but very successful either way. However, in 1947, even though the Pratt family patented the game, it didn't come out to 1949. Remember, it's after all the wars and things like that. But pretty much 1949, they took off. The rest is pretty much history. Absolutely love this game. The whole point of the game, who did it, right? This has always been my favorite game. I played this more than any other board game ever with my friends and family. So much to the point that these right here, see, these are memos when you try to solve the mystery. These right here are copies I had to make. I think I might have went to Staples at a local pharmacy back then. I don't even remember because we played so much. But basically you have 6 characters on a game board. Beautiful. The original game looked much different back in the 40s. This is our new version now. Got 9 rooms to figure out who did it where. And what was really cool when I first saw this game, I played this game for the first time in 5th grade. And it was a lot of fun. And you had all these cool, you had a little clothes. You had a wrench and you had a pipe. The rope, these are all the murder weapons, knife, the gun, candlestick. And back then the suspects were just right here, These represent the characters. You have 6 suspects in a nice fancy mansion. Right, let's go through it here. Professor Plum, Colonel Mustard, Miss Scarlet. What's her name? Is Peacock. I forgot her name, it's been so long. Mr. Green, and the maid, Mrs. White, but she was the maid. Let's just be honest here. So the whole point of the game, you roll the die, 4 to 6 people can play, you hand out the cards. See, the cards have to be split up into 3 piles, murder, weapon, suspect, room. 9 rooms, 6 weapons, 6 suspects. You go around the board, you roll your one little die right here. Of course, after shuffling and dividing the piles, you got your confidential envelope here, and throughout the game, you make suggestions. Person rolls, goes to a room. Let's say Mrs. White in the ballroom with the knife. The person to my left, if they have one of the cards I was asking about, they can show to me. Now, if the person to my immediate left does not have the card, one of the cards I asked for, it goes around till somebody shows me a card. And that's where these things come in. You have to basically narrow it down, to whoever did it. And it's really cool. The game can go on for a half hour to an hour, depending on who's playing, how many people are playing. I have many fond memories of Clue. I remember probably the coolest game I played years and years ago in my backyard right over here. My boy worked at a local restaurant, Brennan Car, and he'd work the late shift. And we'd be in the backyard hanging out, and this before all the drinking and all that. So we would just have soda, chips, whatever. My boy, you know who you are. I don't want to embarrass him on here. That's my brother, my friend. I've known him forever. Love this man. You know who you are, brother. All the love in the world for you and to your family. And he would come home from Brennan Car with roast beef sandwiches and fries. We'd provide the soda and everything else. Roughly 11 o'clock at night. So this is in the summer nights, and we would eat late. We didn't care back then. We were young. We had fun. But the coolest game, he came, and it was raining. So the first game, let's play Clue right now. Because the mood was set for Clue. It started thunderstorming. In my backyard, we have an awning. So we played Clue in a thunderstorm. It went on for about 10 minutes, the storm. It was really cool. Still to this day, the coolest game ever played because I actually won the game. I remember that night. But yeah, fond memories of Clue. That's why I always love board games. With all the electronics and now to social media and TV, which is awesome, and I love all of those things. Heck, I'm on camera right now talking about everything. I always had a soft spot for board games. Even though growing up an only child and I had my issues. When I hooked up with my friends and family, we had board games. You get tired of Nintendo and getting your ass kicked in a game. TV, you show the same thing over and over. If you're watching a Mets or a Knicks game, they're losing. You know what I'm saying? So, especially in the wintertime, we couldn't really hang outside and play ball in the park. We had our board games. Clue, my absolute favorite ever. Now, years and years later, Clue releases so many, just like Monopoly and Risk, so many special editions. Now, one particular edition I'm going to talk about right now Scooby-Doo Clue. How about this? This particular version from Warner Brothers came out in 1999. I actually bought this in the Warner Brothers store, and it's the same exact concept. However, the rooms and the characters are different. So the Scooby Crew now, in all honesty, you have to really be a Scooby-Doo fan to really appreciate it. Like I am. I love Scooby. Always have, always will. But see, this is casting. Scooby-Doo's Colonel Mustard. Yeah, how about that, right? Well, Mrs. White's the only one. She's just some random, random maid who's guilty. Daphne was Miss Scarlet. Shaggy was Professor Plum. Velma was Miss Peacock. Fred was Mr. Green. So imagine, I played this game a lot as well. So much fun with sometimes another good friend of mine who's on here. You know who you are. So we got all these cool things. This cool pad. For some reason, my friend decided to. He was studying Mandarin at the time. He drew some symbols on there. I can't read them. I don't know what he did on there, but it's interesting. It's either Mandarin or dollar signs. Well, it's stick figures. I don't know, I guess he was bored, but I mean, my boy, you know who you are, my brother also, forever and ever. Not a big fan of Clue. Monopoly was his game. Monopoly all in, and Monopoly's a video for another time. I can have stories about that as well. Now, Clue, same exact concept. You break up the cards into 3 piles, the envelope is here, confidential envelope, it's all the same concept. But seeing as it's Scooby-Doo themed, the billiard room stayed, the dining room stayed, the lounge, kitchen. But a different room here was the graveyard. That wasn't in the original Clue, right? Graveyard. Kind of fits the mood. And the courtyard with the 2 extra rooms added with the mystery machine in the courtyard. Pretty cool right there. Nice, beautiful artwork. So whereas the original Clue had the hall, and they had the ballroom, kitchen, and dining room, lounge, billiard room, conservatory, study, library. Right? That's the original Clue. Scooby-Doo Clue made some modifications. Really fun. Like I said, you have to really be a fan to appreciate it. Except for like the graveyard and the courtyard, all the rooms are pretty much the same for Scooby-Doo Clue. Beautifully done, beautifully drawn. I never had any complaints, and just like the original Clue, which I love, had these little, just had these simple, keep it simple. Back in the 40s when the games first invented, you just kept it simple. You don't want to go crazy, but this actual game has pewter figures. It's just really, really nice, and that's Velma right there. Beautiful. I'm going to show you guys these things right here. Beautiful, 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 beautiful quality too, man. Yeah. So there's Fred. Whoever did this did a tremendous job. Velma showed you that already. Shaggy. Beautifully, beautifully done. I can't complain about this. Mrs. White. Just a random character, There's Daphne. Beautiful, beautiful quality. Of course, the man himself. Scooby-Doo's Colonel Mustard with a little rifle. Is that a rifle or a telescope? Look, I never could tell. It looks like a cane or something, but yeah. Of course, I always try to pick Scooby, but everybody loves Scooby, so I was okay with Fred or Shaggy. It didn't matter. I mean, the girls picked the girls. It was really a lot of fun, Now, the weapons in here are based off the TV shows. The chain, Carlotta Spellbook. The Ghost Clown's bomb, right? Whatever that was, the ray gun. So some of these aren't exactly some weird staff cane thing. I know this is Blackbeard's sword. Let's take a look, shall we? Being Scooby-Doo themed and all. Yeah. So Carlotta Spellbook, right, which we showed. The Funline Robots ray gun. I don't actually remember him having a ray gun in that episode. I don't think he did. Blackbeard had the sword. I remember that. The Ghost Clown, the only bomb he had was a smoke bomb, if I remember correctly. Well, Frankenstein, of course, from the classic episode. His chain. And the Witch Doctor's staff. These episodes are classic. If you're a Scooby-Doo fan, you know it's the same exact concept. You walk around the board, you pick a room. Professor Plum, we would say Shaggy by accident, but he's Professor Plum in this one. Professor Plum in the graveyard with the Ghost Clown's bomb. Same concept. You got your little notepad. To the left, show 1 card. Of course, what I neglected to mention before, if the person to your immediate left has more than 1 card you asked for, they get to pick the card they get to pick the card they can show you. So it's also part strategical, part, misdirection, I guess you can kind of sort of say. But yeah, and you just keep going, and it's the same concept. And the thing that always made me laugh, when Even myself, we made a few wrong guesses over the years playing Clue, and if you make a wrong guess, you can't just walk away. In Monopoly, you go home. Risk, you go home or walk away or play Nintendo or something. Nah, you got to stay, because your card might come to play. You have to stay. I mean, when I lost it, would bite, because now I have to sit there, right? So I might just sit there and just watch everybody play and distract them or whatever, all for fun. But yeah, and there's other editions of Clue I can get into. I do own another one. I don't have time to show it here. Maybe another time. Another video for another time, because I have several special editions of Monopoly and Clue and Life as well. And those are all future videos I hope to show. But yeah, Scooby-Doo Clue and the original Clue. Awesome. A lot of fun being a Scooby-Doo fan myself. Brilliantly done. Of course, a classic, like they say. I don't know if anybody remembers the Spider-Man animated series on Channel 5. Spider-Man told Captain America, a classic never goes out of style, Cap, and I stand by that. I have a clue. My favorite game. The original movie came out in '87, I believe, with Tim Curry, and a great cast. A lot of fun. One of my favorite movies ever. And now there's news of a remake with Jason Bateman and Ryan Reynolds. It should be a lot of fun. I look forward to seeing the Clue movie remake. And of course, Clue has been in all platforms. It's one of the original games. I put it up there with Monopoly, Risk, and Life, and the Connect 4. Chutes and Ladders. Clue's been around since the 40s. Old school, my absolute favorite. With all due respect to all the games I talked about on here, or I played over the years, Clue always was my favorite, man, and always will be. I love the whole mystery thing, always have. I'm a big fan of the Agatha Christie novels, and those are coming out. Murder in the Orient Express and other movies are coming out. Love those. And Scooby-Doo. Probably one of my all-time favorite cartoons, next to He-Man, probably. With all due respect to the great cartoons like the Looney Tunes and all of them, and I love them as well. Yeah, my go-to would be He-Man and Scooby-Doo. And Batman, of course, But yeah, look, that's Clue. Nothing but good memories. I didn't win every game, but it was a lot of fun. See, the whole thing, even today, I know board games are still around, and they're still doing very well as far as I know, but, years and years ago before all this tech, you bought board games, brought families and friends together. And they still do today. I know it's mostly digital now, which is also good. All these PlayStation and Xbox, Nintendo, they bring everybody together. But sometimes you need a break from the electronics. Sometimes your eyes need a break. Sometimes the electric bill needs a break. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, board games are very dear to my heart. I enjoy them. I have great memories of my friends and my family. And yeah, Clue is my all-time favorite. By far. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys soon, man. Thanks a lot. Take care.